Hi, Kathy here from Kathy's Cute Creations. I hope you don't hear all the giggling going on in the background. For some reason, Megan's got the giggles. Today, I'm going to be showing you the ornaments that I'm making for my girlfriend's tree. Remember on the live, I was making the hearts? Well, she asked me if I would make some things for her Easter tree. So that's what I have done. So I'm going to show you some of the supplies that I've used and explain what I've done. And then you guys can do the same thing if you're interested in it. All right, let's get started. So I used the pinking shears to go around it when it was completed. I used the scissors to cut out, and you can use any scissors you want, to cut out the fabric that I traced from my templates, which are cardboard. Then I used my friction pen, and I also used this fine line mark begon. Now the way that this one works is when you trace something with it on your fabric, you have to wet your fabric for this line to be gone. This one you use your iron to get rid of it because it's erasable that way. And then in this case, I have these perfect trimmers by Maxi that I have purchased. And it's got a bunch of different sizes, but it's a see-through template. And so on a couple, and I'm going to show you how I did it on one of them. I'll show you here in a minute. But I went ahead and I used this because I fussy cut out a couple little squares that I wanted to use that I thought was cute on my fabric. All right, then I had to use some batting. So let me get my batting over here. And I just cut a big chunk of batting off of my roll here. So I have extras because I actually had a box of batting that I went through all of my batting. And so now I had to cut me some because I didn't have any extra pieces. And I mean, I used a whole bunch of them because these are all little items. So I was just taking and matching a piece. Let me see, is this piece? No, that's not. But anyway, so I just cut some batting. So if you want to do this, I didn't do any of the stuffing like I did the last time for the little hearts. It's all just batting, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And then I'm going to come over here a little bit. And so these are the different kinds of fabrics that I used. Now, some of it I just took like my yardage, but some of this was also scraps. She still has the giggles. I don't know what's going on with her. But anyway, so I just used my scraps. You know, anything that I thought would be real nice Easter kind of. And then let me show you what I've gotten done because I went ahead and I worked all day yesterday. Just a minute. Okay, let me backtrack. So here are some of the things that I cut out. So I have different size of eggs. And I didn't do a whole bunch of all of this. So Megan helped me because, you know, I'm horrible when it comes to drafting up a picture and drawing it up. And Megan's really good about that.
Don't do that. You're good.
So these are the different little things that I used right there. And then all I did was here, I went ahead and I traced it. And then, so this time around what I did, and let me just show you some of these, is that I just did different colors because I only wanted to use one size on this. Now, the last time, you know, I was cutting these in doubles because I was doing 2 of each. But this time around, I'm just doing the 1. And then I'm going to show you how I did it. I tried to make it a little bit easier for those that are a little bit intimidated by sewing them together and stuffing them and all that. I just want to make it just a little bit easier. So let me go ahead and show you some of the things that are done. But here's the next one. This is the one I'm going to do on camera. I'm going to lay it down. She still has the giggles. Goodness. So here is what I did. I put my template on there. And then I just drew it like that. Then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this out. And I have, to make it really easy, I starched this fabric. And then I took 2 pieces of batting. And I'm going to lay them on there. Let me get rid of that. And then, then I'm going to put this on top, but it'll be this direction. And then I'll show you how I do it. Alrighty, so here are the ones that I have already finished. And these are the ones that I'm going to show you that I did the fussy cutting on. So you can learn something. I don't know how many I have. I didn't count them. All I did was make them. And then this has the same size, same on the back, but like this one has a different one on the back. Some of them have different.
Really?
Let's see.
How fancy.
Some I did the same. I'm trying to figure out where did I do one that was different. Like this one here. It's pink and white on that side, and then it's that on that side. This is green.
It's like a minty.
And then that color, yeah. Just different things. And I did the little rickrack here at the bottom of that one. Just to be a little different. Then I did a design off the computer for that one. This is like when you put your Easter egg, when you put your hard-boiled egg in your pan of dye, and then you do a little one color on the bottom, one in the middle, that kind of thing, or a design. Here's another one with the sewing machine design on it.
Oh, very nice.
And then it's got that color on the other
Very
side.
Easter.
And see what you do here is I put a stabilizer on just this pink fabric, did this design, and then I put it together so there's nothing showing on this side at all.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Just beautiful.
And then here's the bunny rabbits.
Mine.
I just did them a little bit different. Alright, so let's go over here to the sewing machine. I'm going to show you what I've done. I'm going to do one for you and also show you the fussy cutting of one. Now notice I have two pieces of batting here. Megan wants this to be a little bit thicker, so I'm going to make one. So she has scraps, and this is what you do. You want to position your batting so it is right down the middle of the needle. Now I go ahead and I select the zigzag stitch. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make it the widest width that my machine will make. My machine will only go up to a 7.0 millimeter. Now as far as the length, I'll go ahead and I'll keep it at 2.5 or make it go 2. So that's the distance of the length so that it will be shorter and it'll be closer. So let me see if I can get this started. Alrighty, so here we go. And then your main purpose is just to hold these two pieces together right here so they don't shift on you. You don't need to do any kind of locking in place or anything. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get a little closer for you here. If I could get my granddaughter to come over here, she could hold this for me, but I can get it like that. And then the main thing, you go right down the middle, just like this, and keep going until it comes right off the edge. You don't need to do any kind of back stitching or anything because this is all going to be buried underneath there. It's going to be sticking out, so it's extra large for what we need to use it for.
Time to work on your thumbnail.
I'm videotaping, honey.
No, you're not. You paused it. Did you start it back up?
Okay, there she is on the other side of the
I'm
table.
making a thumbnail. Classified.
Okay, so here we go. This is what we're going to do. So I've got it laid out here. First you put your green fabric. And this is the piece that I normally starch so it'll be real nice and stiff. And then she wants extra fluff is what I call it. So we're going to do 3 pieces.
I like them chunky.
And then we're going to put that on top just like that. And then we're going to stitch it. So I'm going to put my stitch back to my straight stitch. And in this case, I go up to the length of 4. Slowly. And you can see this. I'm going to take I feel like I needed some more light over here. But as you can see here, let's see if I can go this way a little bit with it so you can see where my foot is. So my foot is right there. Oops. Here's my foot, and I'm going to put it right on the edge here when I sew. Now I'm not going to start up at the top. I'm going to go ahead and come down and begin it. Alrighty, so I have my foot so that when it lays down, I can see it's right here on the edge. So I can see my fabric right here. And that's what I want to do. Now I didn't start at the end. I started right here in the middle. I'll come down and just trace the whole entire thing. And like I said, I'm using a 4.0. I don't think you'll need to have me show you how to sew that.
4.0 what?
Length.
Oh, stitch
You
length.
don't need to back it up or anything. Just go real slow. You're going to come down to the end. And we're going to turn just like that. If it's a little bit less, that's fine. You just want to make sure you got a little bit left over so that you can cut that with your pinking shears. Just take your time. And what it's doing, it's adhering the back side as we do the front side. And it's making it real nice and fluffy. I guess you can call it fluffy. There we go. Oh, I better back that up.
I reckon.
This is what you do when you think you didn't do it right. Remember now, the end's going to be cut off, so you can back it up. Oops. There we go. Because you're going to cut that tip off. Doesn't need to be perfect. These are all going to be hanging on a tree. Nobody's going to be inspecting them.
I will.
Well, in this case, this is for Megan, so she's not going to have it on a tree. At least I don't think you're going to have it on a tree, are you?
It'll be on the wall.
Alrighty. And then we're going to come down that.
There you have it, folks. That's how you get her done.
And then when I come down here to the end, I'm not going to back tack it. All I'm going to do is decrease my length. Yeah, go back and forth with it. I'm just going to come forward with my stitch made real small. That's it. And then we're going to trim it. Look at the back of it. Take off your little stitches here. And then what we'll do is we'll trim it with our pinking shears. Okay. Be careful when you get up here to the corner so you do not cut your stitches. Okay. Nobody wants to cut their stitches. And I'm going to trim this a little bit to get the bulk off. It's easier. It doesn't have all that bulk on there.
Sounds like you're chomping away at the bit there.
Like I said, just be real careful when you get to the end here. And if you want to take your scissors in that corner, that's fine too. You could do that if you're not cautious with your, if you're not used to using your pinking shears, especially if they're big like this. If anybody knows if you can buy a smaller pair than this, please let us know. I'd love to have a smaller pair.
Yeah, just make sure you don't use paper scissors.
That would be pretty hard to do.
Hey, where there's a will, there's a way.
And if you by chance cut through that, just stop and re-sew it. Because I did it on a couple of them.
Oh, don't admit that.
There you go. There's one side and there's the other. See? And now what we're going to do is we're going to put a little string. Remember I used the embroidery thread. Put a string for however you want to hang it. So I'll have it up here at the top and we'll hang it like that. Okay, that's it. Now let me show you the fussy cut one I'm going to do. So I've ironed my fabric. This is the fabric that I'm going to use on the front. This is the fabric I'm going to use on the back. So I take this, put it on top of that, and I'm going to use this little design right here. And this is what I did.
Yeah, she puts her hand on it.
So you can see through here, and I wanted to make sure that I have a 1/4 of an inch. Not that I'm going to sew on the 1/4 of an inch. I'll sew on more of it, and I kind of like put this in the middle. And since I only want it to be a 1/4 inch difference, so I'll start on this side. So I won't bother marking the top. It doesn't make any difference. So I went ahead and made sure I had a 1/4 inch there, a 1/4 inch off of his side. So what I do, because I don't have a ruler that's in between these sizes, so this is what I'm going to do. I'll go ahead and extend it, come up to the end. Now come here to the bottom to figure out where I want it. I want it about right there at the bottom. So go ahead and do it like this. I know I'm going to go past here because I want to make sure I get the carrots in it. And then go over this way. Like that. And that's about the size I want to make it. Just like that. And then I'm going to cut this section out with my scissors. If you want to use a rotary cutter, you can do that too. And I had some other fabric, but I can't find it. I may have given it away. It was all Easter eggs. I think I might have given it away though. Or I might have used it on the back of a project because it was a couple of yards. Then you take this piece here.
Are you sure you didn't cook those Easter eggs up?
And to make sure, because I can make more than one, I'm going to put this on the edge.
A lot of batting.
Put that on the edge. Yeah, I'm debating. I think I only want 2 battings on this one. There we go, like that. Then you can always put another one over here if you cut it out. And then we're going to just go around this, just like this was a square. Let's start down here at the bottom. Actually come over a little bit. And I'll go right on the edge of this one so I don't have to do it in pinking shears. Let me make sure let's take that length back up to 4 or 4.5, because with all this batting, it's going to pull and it's going to look like the stitches are smaller than they are. And on one of these, I did the cutest little zigzag. But it wasn't called a zigzag, it was called something else. I'm trying to think, what was it called? Let me see. It was called a stem stitch. And if you've got that, that makes a tight little zigzag on your machine. And that stitch won't be coming out if you use it. And then because this one looked like it raveled about right in here, then I will come a little bit higher up above that so that it doesn't fall apart. I mean, it's not like I'm going to take these and wash them, but at least if I do, I know nothing's going to happen to them. This one got off a little kilter there, but that's okay. I can trim him, I guess. There we go, and down here, and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to drop down on my stitches, come forward a little bit, cut it, and that's it. And there you go. Those 2 are done. So what do you guys think? Pretty easy, huh? Thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Make a comment. Subscribe if you haven't yet for other videos. And stay tuned for my next one. Bye-bye, everybody.